Hi everyone, it's Vicky here and welcome back to another Mixed Media Tuesday where I'm working on my 6x6 art journal. Now there are only 2 pages left and I have just realized that I haven't used a couple of my own scrapbooking collections. So as I browse through the pages, I can see that I haven't done any secret diary page here, except maybe from this one where you see that little bird. So I decided for the last 2 pages to do a couple more pages using my own designs. So I'm going back to Secret Diary today, and it's an old collection from my stash about a year ago. That was released, but you can still find many of the products in shops. So I'm starting with rice paper, since on this little journal I'm using again and again the same steps. So only 2 pages to go for this journal, and then I will move on to using different techniques. I'm using my scissors and I'm going to cut out some rectangles out of this rice paper. I'm not measuring anything, I'm just cutting out rectangles so that I can put them back together. I like doing this creative process instead of just sticking the rice paper as it is, because I like the patchwork that I get. I like that it's not a continuous background and you get lighter and darker areas by overlapping the little rectangles. So as I always do, I'm going to use my rice paper glue. I'm going to apply a generous amount with my brush on the page, stick the rice paper on top, and then cover the rice paper with the same rice paper glue as well. Now, if you have that fear of the blank page and you don't know how to start, this is a great technique that can get you going, because without thinking anything you just start creating, just sticking little rectangles here and there. Now for the next step I want to tone it down a little bit, so I'm using white acrylic paint, and with a very stiff brush I'm going to add some brush strokes in different areas. Completely randomly, I'm not thinking at all here. And you see that I can go over some brighter areas where it is very busy, it looks very busy on the background, and I can tone it down. The next step is to do some stamping. I'm using here permanent black ink and a very old stamp, a rubber stamp. This is from a set by Holtz which is called ETCETERA, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just going with a very fine text all around the border, and I'm creating kind of a frame with the fine text. This is definitely one of my go-to techniques. I absolutely love doing that. I find that it kind of makes the page look more finished and it gives a lovely frame all around. I'm also using one of the circle rubber stamps and adding a little bit of detail here and there, so I don't have only text but also different shapes as well. And the next step is to do some stenciling. I grabbed one of my favorite stencils that I have designed, and this is again from the Secret Diary collection. I have been using this one again and again, and I'm going over it with volume paste, nice and thick paste that is going to hold its shape and it doesn't seep underneath the stencil because it is so thick. Now, one of the questions that I get all the time is how I clean my stencils. You definitely go at the sink and wash it. By the time you clean up your stencil, the volume paste will be dry on your page. However, sometimes I'm too lazy to do that, so I just spray water on the stencil and with a paper towel I'll clean it up. Or you can just use baby wipes. Now let's put that aside and let's work on the focal points. So here I have 12 by 12 paper pad from the Secret Diary collection, and I want to use the last page where you will find lots and lots of elements to put together focal points for your pages. So I am debating on which one I want to use. Honestly, I love them all, and it is really difficult for me to pick a favorite. So anyway, in one of my previous pages I have used a version of this bird. I think I cut it out from another page because it is bigger, if you see. And then for this one, I decided to go with one of the ladies. But also notice that I designed all those elements so that they can interact together. You can have the girl sit on top of the books, on top of the moon, on top of the Polaroid or the frame. You can just easily mix and match them since I made sure that the proportions are working. So it took me a while to decide which ones to cut out, but finally here are everything that I decided to put together. So my idea is to have the girl sit on top of the typewriter and also give her some wings. This is another one of my go-to compositions. I always like to give wings all my girls for some reason. And sometimes I also like to add a flower on their head. I didn't do the flower on this one, by the way. So anyway, I'm going to stick everything down, and for that again I'm using my rice paper glue. And of course, depending on what you plan to do on top of it, you can definitely use the rice paper glue to seal it down so you can cover it completely on top. It is going to look a little bit milky as you cover, you can see here, but once it dries, it's going to dry completely matte and clear. Now another one of my favorite techniques is to enhance shadows or add highlights in different areas with my big brush markers. These are the Pit markers by Faber-Castell. However, since I designed these images, I made sure that they are they do have the shadows and the highlights that I wanted. So I really don't need to do a lot. I absolutely love how it looks. So I'm just adding a little bit of brown on one side, and I will do that on the girl as well. But what I think is going to really make a difference is to use my black fine pen and add some sketchy lines around the cutouts. This is going to add some kind of separation like a shadow, which is going to help those images pop against each other. And I think that it really makes a difference on this composition. And then, as I always do, I grabbed my white gel pen and I'm going to go around the cutouts and add some highlights here and there. Always sketchy lines. I don't really pay attention to where the light is. I just love the whimsical look and feel that that highlight gives. It is a quick page today. Keep in mind, art journaling doesn't have to be super complicated. You don't have to cover your page with 100 techniques, but you can definitely do that if you want. As I always say, there is no art journal police. Just have fun with your mediums and do whatever makes you happy. In my videos, I'm just showing you what makes me happy and what works for me, but that doesn't mean that this is the right way. There is no right way, just have fun. So for this page, I decided for my quote to combine cut out letters for one of the words, and then I will also just use my label maker to cut out the rest of the phrase. But of course, there are so many different ways to add a quote. If you want, you can use stamps, you can use already printouts like stickers and everything. You can definitely write down with your own handwriting. And by the way, here what I'm doing is repositioning the letters because the way I placed them in the beginning, they were overlapping the wing and I didn't want that. The good thing with the rice paper glue is that it doesn't dry instantly, so you see I do have some time to reposition until I'm happy. So here I am using my label maker and I absolutely love this old-fashioned one. I love the texture that it gives on the label when it is printed out, and also it is a sticker, so it is really handy. And I'm going for a quote that says, create your own story. I think it matches with the girl on top of the typewriter. So let me place those down, and I always like to kind of nest the strips of words with the cutouts. I don't know if that makes sense, but in any case, to bring them somehow together, I'm also going to bring my white gel pen and add some highlights here and there. Now it is really difficult to outline the strip, the black strip of words, because it is shiny. However, if you want to do that, you can definitely go on top of it with the rice paper glue, and it's going to turn it matte. Then you can definitely use your gel pen and outline it easily. Final touches, and let's do some splattering. Again, you don't have to do them if you don't like them. I just love them, so that's why I do it. I will add some black splattering because I think it matches with the letters that I added. And I will also add some white, which I always do. For that I'm using my watercolor set. I think that it is really handy. I made sure that I covered her face. I don't want any funny splatters on top of her. And then notice that I use a very fine brush. I also tap a couple of times outside of the page to make sure that the bigger splatters are going to fall outside, and then I go and do the splattering on my page. These are just some tips that I can give you because I get a lot of questions on how I control splatters. I don't control splatters, it is impossible, but there are definitely little tricks that you can do. So here are some close-up photos on the project that I made for today. Links to everything I used can be found down below in the description. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.